Hi, welcome back. This is SJD again from ISAPPS, and now we are going to be talking about the table layout basics in Android. So let's get started with the table layout. Changed it from linear layout to table layout for the root element. So in order to work with the table layout, we need to add a table row first. Table row. So oftentimes in Android, when you want to display some information in a form of a table, you need to use the table layout. So let me add some text view here. Text view. So column 1, text size. Let me change the text size at 20 sp and add some margin 1 dp. So margin is basically a 1 dp margin. It is outside the text view, and when you say padding, it's going to leave 1 dp gap for the all side inside the text view. So this is how we can differentiate between the margin and a padding. Let me add some other attributes as well. For the background, I'm going to use a pure white and copy the whole text view. Paste it again, and this is going to be the column 2. So the table layout is all about the columns and rows with some specific attributes. So let's go into the graphical view and see what is actually happening. So we have two columns, column 1 and column 2. For the first row, let me add another row. So I copy and paste it. This is again column 1 and 2. Everything is going to be the same. Control Shift F to format the stuff. So we have a table layout with a couple of rows and a couple of columns. So what if we wanted to stretch one of these columns? Now let me show you to the graphical view. We have this column 2, and we don't want this blank space here, so we need to stretch the second column. In order to do that, you can go into the table layout section and add an attribute called stretch columns. You can use the index of the column which you would want to stretch. Index always start from 0, so I'm putting 1 here to stretch the second column. Go into the graphical view, and now you can see the column 2 is stretched, which is of index 1. Okay. Now what if we wanted to hide a column? Now you can use 1, 2 integers, the column indexes, to stretch them. Go to the graphical view. Now you can see both the columns are stretched. Now if you have many columns, plenty of columns, you can use this to stretch all the columns. It's pretty much the same result in this case. Now let me show you how to hide a column. So to hide a specific column, you need to add an attribute called collapse columns, and you again need to give the specific index of the column. I want to hide the second column, so I'm giving 1 because the index starts from 0, so the column 2 resides in index 1. And now you can see you can only see one column at a time because the column that is residing on index 1 is hidden. So let me show you some other attributes that we can use in a relative layout. So now into the graphical view we have two columns, but what if you wanted this column to appear right here? The column 2 should appear at the position of column 3. Yes, we can do that as well by indicating just a one line of code, that is Android layout column. So this attribute is gonna say that, well, you should appear in that position. Now I'm specifying in a text view, so it says, hey, text view, you should appear in this column. So I'm giving the index of the column, and that is 2. Now this text view should appear at index 2. Let's check out. And now you can see the column 2 is appearing at the position of column 3. Now let me show you another example, which is column span. What if you wanted to take this column, the width of 2 columns, as much as the width of 2 columns, to stretch it all along here? So we can specify attribute called Android layout span and give a value of 2. Go to the graphical view. Well, I did have, so there is a little problem. I need to go give a colon here, save the project, and now go to the graphical view, and now the column 1 is taking as much space as 2 columns would have had. So these are the specific attributes that you can use in a table layout and build a good table structure to display some information in a form of table. Thanks for watching, guys.